Okay, so this is, I think, part 5, and let's look at how to make these tiles even dirtier. So these tiles come in from here. You can see they're a bit clean. So we're just going to make a node setup that will feed in this here. So we need to make them dirty before they come in to this input. So find a dirty texture. That texture. I think this is done. Let me see. Have also this. This has a good details in, so we can bring that in. Then add a color mix node. This is, and then connect this to that. But before we do that, let's first preview this. I think this is good. I was thinking maybe I could add mapping so that we control the scale, but I think this scale is good enough, so we can just mix the two directly. So let's preview this. We can try multiply. I think it's too dirty. Let's try overlay. I think this is better, but as you can see in this here, we want some areas to be cleaner than other areas. So let me find a texture that might help us do that. Let's try this. If you preview this, we can see we have this. So we can set all the textures that will come through this black area can become white, can be more cleaner than all the other areas, and so we can use this as a mask for these two. So let's preview this node and feed this directly into the factor, and you can see, but the problem is that if we preview this, there is not a lot of contrast, so we can add a color ramp to give us more control and more contrast. So we can just connect this, and you can see we have really dirty areas and clean areas. And if you want more clean areas, we can just change the contrast here. But I think we have more dirty areas than clean areas, so I'll just push this back. Like this. And now we want a clean cut between the dirty tiles and the clean tiles. So we have something like that. Trying to see if I can find a better map for this. But, I think that's good enough. So let me find something. I think this is okay. So you can see what we have. Now we can feed the results of that into this here. To get this. Let me save this as project 3. If you want to examine that, you will find that there. But so far we have only been working on the base color. So we need to add the roughness, we need to add the bump mapping, and so let's do that. So we can start with the normal map or the bump map. So for that, we obviously need these tiles to be the more powerful bumps. So we get that from, I think, this here. So we can add a car ramp just to have control over the contrast. Something like that. We add a vector bump, connect this to the normal. I preview that. Make sure this is connected not to the normal but to the height, because this is a black and white map, not the normal map. So this will help us control the contrast. Sorry, we can use the strength to control the bumps. But what I usually do is first turn off the color ramp so that I only look at the bumps. So I think this is too much. We need to reduce this to something like that. Let me look at this. I don't know why it's too pixelated like this, but it's not in the image. Let me try feeding this directly into the displacement instead of still the same results. I don't like how we have those pixels. For some reason, let me see what's causing this. If we bring this directly to the normal. Sorry, this here. Shouldn't be this pixelated. For some reason it is. I'll find out what the problem is, but let's just continue for now and see how this looks. Bring in the base. Let's try adding some more shading. Yeah, I think either this is a bug or something, but shouldn't render like this. Let me see if we use a different image for this. It's the same thing. Let me try changing this image, this texture into a non-color data and see if that would affect anything. So non-color data, feed this in here. Still the same thing. Yeah, I think this is a bug because I don't see. If you look at this, you can see that this is a bit more smooth than the results we are getting from the normal map here. Let me calculate normals, apply scale. Let me try reopening this. Still the same thing. Interesting. We can first disable this for a second. And work on the roughness here. So for the roughness, let me just feed this directly from this here and see how that looks. I think that's not too bad. I think we can also I think this is the dirty map. I think we can also reduce on the stains that are making the tiles dirty. Let me preview that. I want to reduce the dirt on these tiles because I think it's too powerful. But I don't remember what was creating. Okay, I think we can also use this. So to have control over the roughness, we can add a car ramp. And then we can preview the map here, like this. So the black areas will be reflective, will be more reflective than the white areas, but we don't want to have too much reflectiveness, so we can reduce that. And also we don't want full roughness, so we can put it at that. And, if we preview this, we have something like this, and we can also increase on the contrast between these two, just like that. Let me change this into a sunlight. Rotate this. See, this is what we have. You see, we don't have the bump map connected, but you see how this looks really good. But problem is that I think this is not it. Problem is that the normal map we're getting is a bit too bumpy for me. Actually, I think this is not too bad. You can just control some of these bumps directly like that. Yeah, I think this is good. This is good. Maybe even make this a bit more reflective. So this here. Yeah, so we have our beam. So you can see this took a lot of time to do because I was explaining a lot, but in the next part where we make other things here, I'm going to be a bit faster than how I've been so far. So let's do that.